Good evening, everyone. My name is Heather Strock, and this is my audience for my speech.
Mike Strock.
Art Wilson.
Ann Wilson.
Tonight, I'd like to talk to you about American cultural pastime, about college drinking. I know this sounds weird, and it's an unspoken American tradition, but it's happening prevalently around our nation as a rite of passage. And so tonight, I'd like to give you the facts around this epidemic, educate why our students are doing this, what the effects are, and what's being done around the problem. I'll start off with a couple of facts that were very enlightening. Based on the National Institute of Alcohol Abuse and Alcoholism, they say 1,800 students a year die from alcohol-related deaths. 100,000 students are victims of alcohol-influenced sexual assault, and 600,000 students are injured from alcohol-related injuries. My daughter was one of them. She went away to college, thought she knew everything, didn't want to listen to what mom had to say as we were educating. But about 4 weeks into school, she had the same thing. She drank too much. She was binge drinking, and she woke up the next day not realizing where she was and how she got there. It scared her to death, and I hope that it changed her. So I was curious and interested in why students do this. I didn't have a chance to experience it, so I wanted to understand it a little bit more. For 2 decades, colleges have been struggling with how to handle this. The percentage of college students binge drinking has remained steady at 40%. What are colleges doing about this? This is a epidemic that's plaguing our schools. What are they doing? Well, they're educating. They feel that these are adult students and they need to be treated as adults. They give them a lot of freedom. They treat this like an individual problem. They can't enforce the Greek life as much as they would like. They feel that they're fraught with politics. They don't have control. They'll lose their support from alumni if they stop programs on their campuses. A lot of things are happening off of campus, so they feel like it's out of their control. I'm sure many of you can relate to this or have known somebody that has experienced this problem. So why do students crave or have this desire to get wasted all the time? So here's one student's report on how she felt. When I was 18 years old, drinking held a real magical appeal. When drunk, I would feel socially skilled and wonderfully impulsive, and far more fun than I'd ever been before. I was drawn to alcohol because it allowed me to escape my natural shyness and bond with people I barely even knew. So that summarizes it really well for how people think and why they drink so much. They feel like the real them comes out, that it's fun, they're free, they're loose, they don't have any inhibitions. It reduces their social anxiety. It allows them to participate in activities that traditionally would not have done before. They get to meet people, they hook up with people, and it creates that world for them that they've heard about and want to know. They feel grown up. They've heard our families and friends all talking about their drinking stories and their bonding rituals and their war stories. They want to be one of them. They see it in the movies that it's acceptable. And sometimes it's out of sheer boredom because they have nothing else to do. They just want to do it. So the effects of increased alcohol levels, we all know what these are, but to hear them out loud, it's true. It reduces inhibitions, it causes confusion, impairs your motor skills, and it causes risky and violent behavior, and the list goes on and on. There's so many injuries that happen: car crashes, falls, burns, drowning, sexual assaults, domestic violence, alcohol poisoning, STDs, unplanned pregnancies. We've all heard it in the news, we all see it every day. How can we stop this? There are long-term effects that go along with alcohol use. Alcoholics, of course, as you grow up, liver disease, heart disease, everything that you can think of can be affected by overuse of alcohol. So how can we shift our culture? Example of, it's like changing seatbelts and requiring seatbelts or reducing or smoking. It is changing. Seatbelts, gosh, I'm sure the percentage of non-use is very little, and our smoking is finally reducing for the first time in years. One, they just kept at it. They didn't give up. They educated. We need to set good examples. We need to show our young adults what is a healthy attitude towards drinking. Not tell them it's not allowed, but share and show how we best handle ourselves. Have college student champions that are supportive, that can stop it and report it immediately when they see that somebody's gone overboard. Don't participate in those games that require the college drinking. That's where they get into trouble. What I found interesting was half of today's colleges consistently enforce underage drinking. They feel, again, that they should be able to handle themselves and they're motivated. Well, we just can't let them do that yet. They still need our guidance. When students were asked how to better encourage decreasing binge drinking, they said having more aggressive monitoring is what is needed. If they knew that someone was going to contact their parent or that they were going to go to jail or possibly terminated or suspended from school or thrown into an alcohol treatment program, they might have stopped. So it's important that we look at these tougher fines or regulations instead of just a dollar figure or warnings. It doesn't help them. So the American pastime of college binge drinking can be changed, even if it's a slow progress. We need to keep going. We need to remain focused. We need to help our young adults understand why this is not something they want to experience. And we need to make them understand what those long-term effects are. So let's work together with this next generation of college students and change the percentage of binge drinking. Thank you.